came to this function. But again, I think I was very lucky that I got an opportunity to come here and meet all of you. It's a great pleasure for me to see all these young boys and girls studying very hard and getting good marks in board exams and progressing well. The other thing I noted was the girls who spoke wonderful. Their diction, the way they spoke, the languages they used was wonderful. It must be hard work of teachers and students and their parents and colleagues, whatever. But the ultimate result was very good. I am sure these girls and boys will shine in life and they will prosper in life. Now Mr. Etibar Shah told a very good story about KR6 and the making of Mughal-e-Azam. And the moral of that story is you have to persevere. You know, if you need something, you have to go for it. You just can't say chalta hai. That attitude will not work in this life. It's a very competitive world. You have to struggle, you have to strive. And very shortly I will give you two stories which I am going to repeat tomorrow also. There is a boy in Maharashtra. He comes from Jalgaon, Jalna city, a small village near Jalna city. He is from a very poor family. His father is a rickshaw driver. His mother is housewife. There are two sisters and two brothers. There is no education in the family. The girls are married off at a very early age. The elder brother, he leaves after class 7. But this young boy is very sincere. He works very hard and he passes his 10th examination with 94% marks. Then he goes to Pune in Ferguson College and he takes political science as a subject in BA. He passes with only 74% marks. He realizes that with this kind of marks he will not get anywhere. There are thousands and thousands of boys and girls with this kind of qualification who are looking for jobs. So he takes admission in an IAS training institute. Then he works very hard. 14 to 16 hours every day he just works hard. He plans his studies very well. In IAS examination there are 3 stages like preliminary, mains and interview. He just gives several days to preliminary preparation, mains preparation and interview preparation. And then after when the results are out, this boy passes IAS examination in the very first attempt at the age of 21 years. He is the only person, since the IAS was established, he is the only person who has passed at the age of 21 years. And now he is a commissioner of MSME, which is Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises and posted in West Bengal. He is married, an IAS officer. But the moral of the story, कोई भी हम कहानी सुनते हैं तो दिमाग में ये ख्याल आता है क्योंकि the story is very good. But what is the moral? What we क्या सीख मिलती है, क्या सबक मिलता है उससे? तो इससे सबक ये मिलता है कि गरीबी आपके आगे नहीं आती. If you want to study hard, you want to succeed in life, the poverty is not a barrier. Then another thing is the language of instruction is also not a barrier. He studied in Marathi medium school in a very small village of Maharashtra. But still he became an IAS officer, the youngest IAS officer ever. So far he is the only one, and his name is Ansar Ahmed Sheikh. So your poverty does not matter, where you come from does not matter, your language of instruction does not matter, which school or college you go does not matter. All that matters is your hard work, your dedication, your sincerity. I want to achieve this, go for it, achieve it. If you give me 2 minutes more, I will tell another story. There is another story of a young girl. She lives in Mumbai, in a chawl. Many of you know what a chawl is, a 10 foot by 10 foot room. And she lives there with her parents, 2 brothers and 1 sister. And she is a very bright student. She passes her board examination with something like 94% marks again. Then she goes to college, and after when she was returning home after appearing for class 11 exam, she falls off the local train in Mumbai. You know how crowded the local trains in Bombay, everyone has seen it. So she falls off, her left leg is severed from above the hip, near the hip, and the right leg is severed well above the knee. Now she stays in the hospital for about 3 months and comes back with 2 artificial legs. Now she appears for 12th and passes the MBBS qualifying examination, whatever it is, CET or any, whatever MBBS qualifying examination. She clears the exam also with good marks. But when she goes for interview, the interviewer tells her that you are 89% disabled, artificial legs. Now she appears for 12th and passes the MBBS qualifying examination, whatever it is, CET or any, whatever MBBS qualifying examination. She clears the exam also with good marks. But when she goes for interview, the interviewer tells her that you are 89% disabled. And the rule says that only those people with 70% disability can be admitted to the MBBS course. Now this very poor girl from very poor background, severely disabled, दोनों घर चले गए, she goes to the High Court. She goes to the High Court and tells her story to the judge. The judge asks her many questions, and then the judge asks her to walk in the court with artificial leg to see how she can walk. And the judge tells the medical board, give her admission in MBBS. So she gets admission in MBBS course. There she passes MBBS in first class. Then she applies for MD pathology. She passes the test, written test, again for interview, the same problem arises. So no admission, you are 90% disabled, we cannot give you admission. The last day for getting admission is only about 4 days away. Now she contacts a local political leader, and this man is very nice. He personally goes to New Delhi, meets the health minister, and the 70 years old rule, which was that 70%, only 70% disabled can be admitted, is struck off in just 2 days. And this girl gets admission in MD pathology. And she has passed MD pathology in first class. Now she is trying to open her own pathological laboratory in Mumbai. So the 4 lessons I told you earlier, one lesson can also be added, that your disability does not matter. If you are mentally alert, you are hardworking, you plan your studies well, even if you are severely disabled by birth or subsequently you get disabled, it doesn't matter. All it matters is how you plan your life, how you plan your studies, how you plan your career, and how much hard work you are willing to put in your efforts. So all that is matter. I am very glad to be here again, I said, and I congratulate the teachers and students and management of Idealist School. I hope their futures are all very bright, whatever they do, in whatever field they work, their future is very bright. I wish you all the best, and thank you.